My kid pulled out a couple new ones today. Sometimes when she's really upset, I say, "Can you listen for a second?" And today she yelled, "I do not want to listen." Damn, okay. And yesterday she was really upset. And I asked if she could tell me why she was upset. And she said, "No, I do not want to talk to you." So I guess she's already a teenager and I should just like pack it up. Okay. Let's see. What am I doing? Oh. Chitty chatty. And then finishing question mark, question mark, question mark. The Sojourn. Maybe. We'll see. I have no idea how long this game is. Dexbonus. Bam. Crushed it. I love the sass. Dude, it's so intense. Oh my god. Is the webcam working? Good lord. Well, it was showing you the top of my head, which like kind of worked. Now it's showing you my actual self, which is good. I do not want to listen. And then I was like, okay. So when she said I don't want to talk to you, I was like, I totally get it. Do you need some you time? Should I go into the kitchen and make us lunch and you can be by yourself? And that made her more upset. She really hated that. So, you know, I don't know. It's hard. She's 2. She doesn't know exactly what she wants. She doesn't know how to fix it either. We're just trying to figure out how to communicate at this point. The youths. Yeah. So in the end, it was Clark just kind of like chilling on the like ground by herself and me on the couch. And I told her that if she wanted to talk to me or if she wanted a cuddle or a hug or whatever, she could ask. And otherwise I would leave her alone for a minute. And it took maybe like 10 seconds before she goes, "I really want a hug." It's like, all right. As a father of a 2-year-old, I feel every word of what you're saying this morning. Cheers to parents with toddlers, man. I'm trying. I don't know if what I wind up doing is always the right thing to do, but I figure if I'm just reinforcing, like, if you want to talk to me, I'm down to talk. If you just want a hug, I'm down to give you a hug. Beyond that, I'm not totally sure what to do yet. We're figuring it out as we go. Cute glasses. Thank you. I love them. Thanks, guys. I try. Doing what I can. Ugh. It's a lot. I also have a headache this morning, which doesn't help. So. No, they're actual glasses. Yeah. When I got pregnant with Clark, long story short, when I got pregnant with Clark, I lost my glasses. And I was told, like, well, while you're pregnant, your eyes can change anyway. And they can even change up through, like, the period of time that you're breastfeeding if you wind up breastfeeding. So just wait and then get your eyes rechecked. And then get new glasses. And I was like, okay. And I put that off forever. And so now I finally have glasses again after, you know, the nearly 3 years of my life that I haven't had glasses. That's insane. Because I wasn't that far along in the pregnancy. So I didn't have them for her entire life so far. And most of the time that I was pregnant. Are they designer? These ones? They say Specsavers on them. They say Specsavers on them. And that's all they say. And then a bunch of fucking numbers. So. Is your vision worse or better after having Clark? I don't know. Because the person that I went to in England, I've obviously never been to before. So if I had gone to a person who knew my prescription from last time and knew what my eyes looked like last time and then could do a comparison, then cool. But this person was literally just able to be like, yep, as you said, it looks like you are nearsighted with an astigmatism. So great. Sounds like it's the same. Your feet can permanently grow up to 3 sizes. I did not know that. Yeah, pregnancy like changes your whole body. It's wild. Most people gain between a half and 1 shoe size, but it can be up to 3. Interesting. I feel like all of my shoes from before still fit me. I don't think that my feet, if my feet did change, it was not much. We're a feet stream now. We will never be a feet stream, guys. That's a nope. Sorry for the foot talk. It's fine. It it matches the topic. Nice something. Yeah. Which coast could it be? It's the one that I lived in. The coast I lived on. Bam. I'm like trying to I'm trying to figure something out. Hold on. Yeah. When I go in to turn off autofocus, it's normally not set like all the way at the end. And I never know if that's because it's like focused on the microphone and not on me, even if I look okay. So I was just messing around with it to try and see like at what point I felt like I looked the crispiest. So is that desk in the background ever used for anything other than posing figures? This one? Originally, when we moved here, we set up our computer and monitors at that desk, and realized very quickly that it's awful. The amount of space that you have in front of you when you sit at that desk is about this much. So with a monitor on there, there's like nowhere to put anything else. And if you are biggin, like my husband, you're going to smash your knees up against that wall over and over again. So it was not ideal for us. So we just got normal tables. It looks like one of those PC desks you'd buy in the 90s when monitors were small and everyone needed a CD rack. I mean, monitors were small this way, but not this way, which is the way that matters with this desk, right? What piece of artwork makes you happiest to see in your house? Oh, the Pacific Rim prints are still like the best things that I own. There's another one that I have that Jeannie got really into an artist who basically made up a bunch of really cool like animal characters that look very like old children's book-y, and did all of these really nice ink prints of like different characters with like their name, and Jeannie got me one of those. It's a little badger character and I love it, and so I've put that up in every home I've been in. Do you still collect the tiny glow people? I haven't been able to buy any more, but yes. The green boys, as Clarky calls them. There are green boys all over the house. Because Clark grabs them all the time. They were originally just in the bathroom, and Clark kept, as kids do, kept just like demanding to be in the bathroom with us, and then would be like, give me a green boy, and then she'll just run off with it and put it somewhere. One of them she broke, which is very sad. There's one that's very cute of like a little green boy reading a book, and she dropped it once and the book popped off. So we were like, okay, well, we need to fix this, but we've never taken the time to fix it. We just put it up on a little ledge and put the book back in his hands. And so she asks for the green boy with the book all the time, and we're like, oh, he's still broken, honey. What do green boys look like? They're called smiskies. Hold on. Why the fuck isn't my... This is so weird. My keyboard is behaving very strangely right now. Yeah, Smiski. If you just look up Smiski. What is going on? It's the coffee you poured on it? Like forever ago? Oh no, they're adorable. Yeah, they're great. We love them. So they're all over the house. And there are a few, we have some of the blue ones, the like bathroom ones. We have a couple of the blue ones, but we haven't found a place to put them yet. So they just like kind of sit off to the side where Clark can't get them because we only have a couple of them. And I'm like, I don't want to lose the blue ones. They're like rarities in this house. They're like little Mr. Meeseeks. Yikes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we plan on opening up a P.O. box. It has not been a priority since everything's been shut down. Was there ever a mosquito jar update? I think my last update was, yep, there are no mosquitoes in the jar anymore. And I didn't feel like we needed another update after that. Loyal Schnee, thank you very much for the 1 year. Happy anniversary. Actually, something I could say about that is the jar still had some like algae inside of it. And when the owners came by the house to look around and be like, what else should we fix? Sam said that they stood outside staring at the jar. Communicating with one another, not in English, so Sam didn't know what they were saying, but they were literally staring at the jar talking to each other for like a really long time. And he was like, they don't know what the fuck that was. They don't know what the fuck that was. Yeah. Might fuck around and buy some Smiskies. Raining again, yes! I love it. So in love. To the person who is asking, apparently some of the things that are in the Cat Gang shop on pre-order right now, there isn't a set date for shipping because we're waiting for like a certain number of orders to come through. There's like a minimum number of like, for some of the shirts, there's a minimum number of shirts that we have to have ordered before we can like make an order, if that makes sense. But they said it should be soon. A lover of rain is called a pluviophile. I should put that on a shirt. And people will be like, oh my God. I'm reading an Am I the Asshole thread on Reddit about a dad who started dating his son's ex-girlfriend. I just wanted to share that cursed knowledge with all of you. You're welcome. No. I hate it. Am I the Asshole? I feel so conflicted about Am I the Asshole posts because sometimes it's like, I know this person is probably real, but I so badly want to believe that they're not. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want it to be real that this person is going on Am I the Asshole, basically just asking to be roasted into oblivion because it's so unbelievably obvious that they're the asshole. Like, the answer is always yes. Not always. There have been a couple of posts by people where it's like really obvious from the story that they tell, like they are being convinced, like manipulated by the other people in the situation into thinking it's their fault when it's not. So that's definitely been a thing before in some of the posts, but a lot of them are like one of the ones that I read the other day was like a dude who's like, I'm working from home currently, and all I ask for is complete silence while I work, and yet I still hear people walking and the kids playing, and is it so unreasonable for me to want complete silence while I work? And so many, like, it went way beyond that, but so many of the posts that responded to it were like, I get the feeling that guy's about to have maybe lifelong silence pretty quick here when this lady divorces him. It's insane. Right? I was like, buy headphones. What is your problem? I don't understand. All I ask is that you pretend you don't live here. Yeah, that's honestly, I don't read them on Reddit. I always read them on the Am I the Asshole Twitter. I didn't even know about those posts until now. Yeah, so there's an entire subreddit that's been around for a while that's AITA, Am I the Asshole? And it's just posts where people go on there and they tell a story where basically like they are unsure whether or not they are actually the person in the wrong, right? So it's like, I'm being told that I'm being unreasonable, or I'm being told that I'm an asshole, but I don't think I am. So I'm gonna come to a bunch of like non-biased people, like people who are outside of the situation, and tell you the story from my side, and then you can tell me whether or not you think I'm the asshole. And as some people are saying in chat, a lot of times they are the asshole. Yeah. I just unfollowed somebody because of how much they read that Reddit on stream, and now you're talking about it. It was brought up in chat. Some of those, they get depressing after a while though. It's true. I can't just like sit. I couldn't like go to that subreddit and just read one right after the other, right? And I couldn't like the ones that are about like really awful parents. Sometimes you're like, oh, that was funny, and other times you just get so depressed because you feel bad for the kids, right? So like, I can't, a lot of those ones that are like, let's laugh at other people being the worst, I can't do a whole lot of that. But yeah. Dodger 2 positive for Am I the Asshole threads. Maybe. Is that the problem? I just want to believe that, you know. I don't get a whole lot of joy out of people being miserable. Does anybody else's cat have problems with peeing in a neutral standing position? What is a neutral standing position for a cat? Oh, she has to use a lidded box or it splashes against the wall. I see. That's, I think, normal-ish. Any spooky plans for Halloween? I'm like, around Halloween is when we're having to be out of this house. So like I feel kind of, it sucks, but I feel sort of like there's no point in decorating. If we can like create a situation where, God, my eyes are just killing me. If we can create a situation where we're in a house like a few days before Halloween, I might just go ham, but are you taking the ghost to the new house or is it staying in its current home? Look, I'll come in here, I'll pop open the door, I'll be like, hey, ghost, if you want to come with us, let's chill. You've been really nice roommate so far. But if you prefer this house, I get it. Like, I know all ghosts are different, so maybe you're bound here or whatever, but like, we're leaving, so. I'm a bit behind. Are you not able to buy this house in the end? We can't buy it as quickly as they want somebody to buy it, so they're kicking us out, which is super cool. Which is super cool. So we're still a little bit up in the air. We have two options right now. There's a place that we've applied for, and the neighbors have said that they're wanting to rent out their place, but it's unclear currently whether or not the neighbors will be able to get out of their house in time for us to move in because it's like a short timeline. So we'll see. Chaotic neutral positions. Thanks, guys. I'm a big fan of these glasses as well. Yeah, basically we haven't been living in England for long enough. Even though Sam's a citizen, we haven't lived here a full year yet. And I haven't had residency here. I won't have residency here until February. So they were like, your best bet is going to be to wait until February and then try again for this mortgage because, like, honestly, most of the people who are trying to get mortgages right now, their income is fluctuating like crazy because of COVID, and it's pretty fascinating. You guys, like, there's some fluctuation, but not nearly as much. So you're in a good position in terms of like your finances. It's just that all of these different companies feel very weird about giving a mortgage to people when they haven't been in the country for very long. So you should try again in February. So we went to the owner and we were like, hey, can we try again in February? And he was like, no, get out. just like paring it all down. But, you know. Hi, Danny. Thank you. How are you, dude? Pay using gold. That would be amazing. Oh my God, it's almost 6 a.m. Go to bed, dude. Soon the government is introducing low rate mortgages for UK house buyers. Is that because I know that they did like stamp duty stuff? I don't know if that's still going, but are they just like are they worried that people aren't going to buy houses? It's going until March. Could still take advantage, maybe. A 5% deposit? That's so low. Wild. Well, we'll see, I guess. We'll see, I guess. That's going to take forever to pay off. Oh, yeah. It's definitely one of those situations where they're like, yeah, we're being so nice and making it so accessible for someone to buy a house, and the interest is going to absolutely kill you. Right? Yes, we would be first-time buyers, so. Yeah, my sister just bought a house no money down. Well, not just bought, but like um a few months ago. It's like their first house and they all bought it together. By all, I mean my sister and her husband and then two of their kids. They all went in on it together. And are like paying off the mortgage together, which is cool. But yeah, we'll see what we can get. Sam's mom has also said that, like, you know, they had 5 kids. Their house is huge, but now it's just her and my father-in-law that live there. So they're kind of like, why do we still have this huge house? Everybody loves it. Everybody will be really sad when they get rid of it, but in terms of like upkeep, they really want a smaller place. So Sam was saying that my mother-in-law was like, well, if we wind up looking for places around the same time, we can try and get places that are near each other, which would be fun. So our mortgage is the financial equivalent of a group party raid boss fight. Buy Sam's family home. We have 1 child. I don't want a huge 3-story house that used to be a school. That's literally what this home is. It's insane. It's insanely big. I don't want that. Five gamer rooms. It's also for Sam, it's one of those houses that's like kind of cramped. Like he grew up in it, but like the hallways are pretty narrow. So he's said before, like, yeah, he'll be sad when they don't have that house anymore, but he wouldn't be interested in buying it because it would just, he doesn't feel super comfortable in there. Sam just needs to shrink. I'll tell him. Oh my gosh. I've had a headache since last night and it's driving me crazy. It's one of those headaches that's like right behind the eyes. And I was like, maybe it's a caffeine thing because I didn't really have much coffee yesterday. It's like maybe it's a caffeine headache. So I slept on it and then this morning have had like a little bit of coffee. It's not going away. It's no fun. Does it get worse when you look at light? No. Yeah, typically like any headache medication that has caffeine in it, typically migraine medication has caffeine in it, that will normally knock these things right out, but we'll see. Just drink a little bit of coffee, a little bit of water, and eventually maybe the mixture will help. Is it because Clark opened your head? Good reference. It might be. Like Excedrin migraine. If you look at Excedrin, not obviously not like the first thing that's in it, but Excedrin migraine, one of the primary ingredients is caffeine. So if at some point you're like, I'm going to start cutting back on caffeine, and you get headaches and you're like, well, I've got some Excedrin. I'll just take that. Excedrin has caffeine in it. Because your eyes are getting used to the new glasses. I wasn't wearing them last night because I was sitting in bed. So I got the headache when I hadn't been wearing my glasses for a while. And this morning I put the glasses on maybe an hour after I had woken up. So I don't think it has to do with the glasses. And that would be weird as well. If I got glasses that make it so that I don't have to like strain my eyes to see stuff, but it gave me a headache. It could totally be stress. You're right. Could totally be a stress thing. Yeah, I'm getting enough sleep. Yesterday, Sam and I made dinner together. And then he sat on the couch and he was like, God, I'm so tired. We decided to start watching The Great Pretender together while we were eating. And he ate like half of his food and then started to fall asleep. And I was like, are you okay? And he was like, yeah, I'm fine. We like ate the rest of our food and then got to, I think, like halfway through episode 2. And I looked over and he was just... So I said, Sam, you have Star Wars tonight. If you want a nap, that's totally fine. I'll like go up. We could chill in bed. I can do some drawing. You can go to sleep, like whatever you want to do. And he was like, yeah, I might have to. And then of course, because I'm a nap queen, I like grabbed the iPad and went to start drawing and then just fucking fell asleep as well. So he and I both fell asleep at like 9. Put Clark to bed at 8, finished dinner, ate dinner, and then just went to bed. And we were in bed until, well, his show started at 1, so his alarm went off at 12:30. And then I was like, fuck. Now what am I going to do? So I got up and like did all the dishes and vacuumed and then did some drawing. Actually did some drawing and then fell asleep for real. He was up late with the Callus Row tour. That was the night before. So night before was Callus Row. And he was like, oh my God, it went so fucking late, but it's so cool. And then last night was the Star Wars game that he's in. So Sam almost never gets enough sleep. I typically get enough sleep, but it's not super restful sleep always, if that makes sense. Sometimes I go to bed at a totally normal time, but then I wake up every couple of hours. So, what can you do? What can you do? Before I had Clark, I used to nap in the afternoon all the time. It would hit like 3 or 4. And that was my cat nap time. I would be living my life, doing my thing. 3 or 4 o'clock rolls around, and I'm like, fuck, I want a nap so bad. And I would either accidentally or on purpose take a nap for like an hour or 2 hours around 4 o'clock. And my body got very used to that. And then I had a baby. And then everybody was like, oh man, well, just make sure that when she's sleeping, you sleep. But at that point, you're so obsessed with the fact that you have no control over your life that when she sleeps, you're like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can do whatever the fuck I want. She's asleep, bitch. So that didn't happen. And now she has one nap a day, and it starts right when I start my stream. So I don't nap anymore unless it's literally immediately after she's in bed, which is a terrible time to nap. That's like danger nap area, right? So I nap like at 8 or 9 p.m. all the time. Tiny2K, thank you so much for all of the gifted subs. How sweet. Thank you. If you were gifted a sub just now, be sure to thank Tiny2K in chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Anything after 5 p.m. is danger time. Yeah. It's not ideal. It's not the ideal time. Most of the time when I take a nap, I wake up with a headache and I feel dizzy. Sometimes when I wake up from a nap, I feel pretty good. But it's a gamble for sure. I might wake up and be like, I never want to get out of bed for the rest of my life. And other times I'll wake up and go, all right, what's going on in this house? What's happening? Yeah, honestly, I have to say, I'm very jealous of my friends that are like, well, I'm sleeping a lot during quarantine because I can basically just sleep whenever I want. My sleep schedule is basically exactly the same as it was before because we have a kid and our kid like keeps us on a schedule, right? Or at least for me. Because I'm morning shift. So I wake up with her like between 7 and 8. My sleep schedule disappeared when I sleep in for how long is erratic now. Yeah, I was talking to Jeannie because there's that meme of like two people passing each other on roller coasters, and one of them said wakes up at 6 a.m. and one of them says goes to bed at 6 a.m. And I sent that to her and I was like, this is me and Sam, and she was like, oh my god, this is me and my husband. Because yeah, she's like in school, but it's all online classes, right? So she said she just stays up all night either doing homework or just farting around, and then goes to bed when Isaac wakes up. And Isaac's like, what are you doing? She's like, I don't know. She's doing interior design, which is very cool. She spent a decent amount of time not totally sure what she wanted to do. Like she loves animation and she loves the comics industry and stuff. She worked for Dark Horse and stuff for a while and thought that she wanted to do something sort of adjacent to that, but then realized there isn't really a job that suits her skill set, which is management stuff. So she did a lot of production management at Maker when we were working together. She realized the sort of jobs that she could get in that industry that suit her skills wouldn't make her super happy. And then was kind of trying to figure out I don't really know what I want to do and what's gonna make me happy and what I would be good at, and had a friend point out to her you've always been really good at decorating your space and really good with like colors, and you have a lot of interest in like fashion and in, you know, well-designed homes and stuff. And they were like, have you ever thought about looking into interior design and like what sort of jobs are associated with that, and if something like that would make you happy? And she was like, I actually never thought of that, and started looking into it and was like, oh my God, this might actually be awesome. So she's been going to school for it, which is very cool. Making career changes can be scary. Good for her. She decided to try something new. I know, man. It's awesome. I'm very happy for her. She seems like she's really enjoying it. I met you through Jeannie. I know. That's true. Jeannie introduced Danny and I. Nope, I live in England now. Sorry, that all blurred together. I live in England now. With my husband. And every time I go to the store, the people at the store say, why did you move here? And then I have to explain it all over again, and it's never as exciting as they want it to be. Yeah. Every time I go there. Every time I go. I've never had crumpets. What are they like? They're delicious. They're like little sponge breads with a bunch of holes in them. So if you have that phobia of like things with lots of holes in them, you probably won't like crumpets, even like looking at them. But they're really great for if you toast one and then put some butter in there. The butter just like gets inside of the bread. It's tight. They're so good. They're not like English muffins, though. No, crumpets and English muffins are completely different. They're totally different. What we call English muffins in America are not at all what crumpets are like, which is wild to me. What do you eat crumpets with? I just eat crumpets by themselves. There's a like plant-based butter here called Flora. So that's always the one that we get. Crumpets with a little bit of Flora on there. Delish. But to be honest, Clarky doesn't really give a shit about crumpets. She prefers just straight up toast, which is so funny. So if we get crumpets, Sam and I go hard on the crumpets, and Clarky always asks for toast. Honey on crumpets is the one. We use honey a lot in this house. Clark loves peanut butter and honey sandwiches. So we like blast through honey. Pretty much anytime I'm making something for her and I need a sweetener, I just use honey because we always have it. But yeah. Yeah, crumpets are delicious. And I've never been able to find like actual crumpets in America. So if you're ever in England, get some crumpets. They good. Well, that's that. Bye, coffee. Now water is my best friend. Love your glasses. Sorry I'm late. Thank you. I also enjoy my glasses. Peanut butter, banana, and honey. Damn. Implying water isn't always your best friend. Water should be our best friend always. Yeah. Googled crumpets. They look amazing. They're great. They're great. They're so tasty. I cheat on water with tea. And there it is. Peanut butter is not common in Brazil. My experience is this is too sweet. Peanut butter tastes really sweet to you? I have twin girls. They live off crumpets every morning. They don't want anything else anymore. This morning we made, my sister-in-law was like, oh yeah, I make River these pancakes all the time that are literally just egg and banana and oat. And I was like, that doesn't sound like it would turn into a pancake. And she was like, you should try it though. And it totally worked. It's not a pancake, but like the egg part of it makes it kind of simulate a pancake-ish. Yeah, it was like 1 banana, 2 eggs, and then, I don't know, 8 Clark-sized handfuls of oats because she insists on grabbing the oats with her little hand instead of letting me measure it. So, whatever, that's fine. And then, yeah, and then you mash it all up, and then you just pour it out, and then as, like, it's cooking the bottom, you just kind of, like, push it into a circle shape and then flip it. It was great. Clarky loved it. Where's the red flashing water thing? I think it's in my bedroom. I think that counts as a fritter. Yeah, probably. But they look like little pancakes. And if you're like, I don't know, working out or some shit, probably good for that too. It's literally just banana, oats, and egg. So with banana, you don't really need eggs. I don't think that you can make a pancake out of just banana and oats, though. I think you need it for this. Not with that attitude. You can make it with just banana and egg. That's what I do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the oats were like an optional, but we have a bunch of oats in this house, so. I've heard multiple U.S. citizens who visited the UK say that the food over there isn't great. Do you think that that's the case? I think that the food over here is way less sweet, and that's hard to get used to. I also think that depending on where you are coming here from, you might be used to like more options of cuisine, and maybe those options are available in London, but in a lot of places they are not. So here we've got, within range of us, we've got a kebab place and an Indian place and pizza, which is fine because it forces us to cook more often, which I'm down for. But yeah, the Indian food here, if you go to a good Indian place, like the Indian food that John, the Total Biscuit, took us to, is the best Indian food I've ever had in my life. And I have never been able to find a place in the US that had Indian food that good. But, you know. No wonder Sam ate pizza every day. Well, the goof, and it's not even a goof. The goof is that, like, Sam hasn't really changed the way that he eats. Like, yes, we, you know, don't have access to all of these different fast food places, which helps a lot. But like in general, like Sam still eats lots of pizza, lots of just, easy, quick things to eat, because he doesn't really enjoy cooking. And he's like lost a bunch of weight. Just because the food here is different, right? There just isn't as much sugar. Yeah. So. Sam sounds like my boyfriend just makes pizza mostly and doesn't want to cook. Sam has tried cooking a lot. He's been very upfront with me that like all of the men in his family cook. He's the only one that's just like, I really just don't enjoy this. And I've always also been very upfront with him that like it makes me very happy when we cook together. Uh you know, even if he's just like keeping me company, it's really fun for me to have like the whole family in the kitchen. That's really, really fun for me. But Sam doesn't get anything like, he gets no like specific nice feelings out of cooking, right? It's not fun for him at all, which I think is totally fair. If I kept saying to him that there was something that I really disliked and he kept being like, but what if you did it anyway? I would get annoyed. So I've told him before, I think that if he wanted to like, I think he would probably enjoy making like bread or something where kneading was a big part of it. I think he would probably really enjoy kneading dough, but yeah, I'll normally tell him like, look, you just DJ, you find music for us to listen to, and if there's something that's just like a bunch of ingredients need to be mixed together, I'll have like the simple stuff, I'll have you do that. We've realized anytime I ask him to chop something, he cuts himself, so like no chopping. But if something just needs to be like, you know, glazed or thrown in the oven or like really straightforward shit, he can do that. Getting something out of the oven with 2 knives. He'll never live it down. True story. It's like JP and Whiskey Sweet, mostly accompanying Aaron cooking, but still doing some of the work. JP has at least like tried to do some cooking stuff on his own before though as well. Like he got really into using the sous vide for a hot minute there. Maybe he still uses it all the time. I actually don't know. Oh, I loved cooking when I was in a relationship. I full on tried to do binging with Babish recipes, and I would basically just eat garlic bread all the time. I have no energy to cook. Yeah, I've found that when I lived by myself, I didn't really bother cooking anything that like had any love behind it at all. I'm definitely more of a personality where it's like if there's somebody to cook for, I get enjoyment out of that. I don't like cooking just for myself. And I also think it's totally fine to accept that there are going to be ebbs and flows in anything that you enjoy, right? It's like all of these artists that you follow that are like, hey, if I'm being totally honest, I like didn't draw anything for like 2 years and then I came back to it and it was fine. I look at cooking that way for myself. Like I'm cooking more now than I think I ever have. But yeah, definitely had like points in my life where I was like, I'm just gonna eat top ramen every night and deal with that later. I hate cooking for myself and love cooking for others. I've been a chef for 10 years. I watched a video. I'm trying to remember who it was. There was a video of, I think it was a chef's wife who was like, yeah, everybody always asks, like, oh my gosh, do you like eat so well at home because your husband's a chef? And she was like, he cooks for his job. He doesn't want to come home and cook more. Like, like if he does cook something for me, there's usually a lot of love and it's normally wonderful, but like no, I'm not he's not like cooking crazy shit when he comes home on the daily. It might have been David Chang's wife. I can't remember, to be honest. I forced myself to cook one proper meal a week. I think Sam said that he had the most luck when it was like, this is what I'm going to eat every day. Right? When he like basically just ate eggs and chicken and broccoli and like that was it and just ate that every day. This was when he started going really hard on working out when he was younger. But just saying to yourself, like, I'm just going to eat the same thing every single day. It was easier for him than trying to like mix it up and do other stuff. Me and my boyfriend both met when we were working as chefs, and once we moved in together, it was such a pain to cook after being at work all day. Yeah. It's like a part-time job trying to decide on 7 meals a week for yourself. Yeah. I try to plan out, like, these are the things that I want to make this week and have it written down so I can reference it. And remind myself, like, this is what you have stuff for, right? This is like, you have the things necessary to make this stuff. The part that I'm bad about sometimes is before we go to the store, looking at everything that I have and trying to say, okay, I've got a couple of sweet potatoes I still haven't used. I should use those in a meal. I've got this, I've got that. I should try to incorporate those things, I do it to an extent, but I'm not. Some people are really good about just going through their whole kitchen once a week and being like, what do I have? What do I need to get rid of? What's almost gone that I can use up? I would love to be better at that, but yeah, we started getting there's a box like HelloFresh that's entirely like British produce, meat, everything. And it's called Mindful Chef. We started doing that one at some point during quarantine because it became such a hassle to go to the store. And it's been pretty good. They have every single thing that they send you is dairy-free and gluten-free, like regardless of whether you said you want that or not, which is kind of nice. So I never have to worry that anything that I eat out of it is going to like hurt my stomach or something. And they have tons of vegan options, which is also nice. But we were like, this is kind of nice because it's helping us out. And we know that like most of the stuff that's in there is like supporting a British farm or whatever. So yeah, we started getting that, and that's been pretty nice. So that'll like sort out a couple of nights in the week, and then the rest of it I can just fill in. And there's a couple days a week where we'll just say like, one of these is going to be a fast food night, one of them is going to be a leftovers night. Mm-hmm. usually try to have, if I have an opportunity to make rice, I'll always make more rice. And then one of our lunches in the week is typically like a fried rice, whatever, just chop up a bunch of vegetables that need to get used up and throw them into some fried rice, and we'll eat that for lunch. Yeah, just trying to have, like you said, go-to dishes where I can make this easily with things that I typically have around. Mindful Chef was the name of it. What's your go-to recipe you cook to impress? There's I think it's off of Budget Bites. There's a Thai curry soup that's really good. And then the one that we made on stream that I said was really similar to that was the Thai butternut squash curry. That was also great. Both of those I've made for people, and they've said that it was great. I don't know. I don't have like lots of opportunities to like entertain. Yeah, Budget Bites is a great website. And I'm trying to think if there's anything I've made off of there that has not been great. Like pretty much everything that I've made off of there has at least been pretty good. Yeah, pretty much everybody recommends that if you're making fried rice, you use at least day-old rice. Like rice that's been cooked and put in the fridge for a day. If you made rice last night and then you have leftover rice, you can make fried rice with it the next day, that kind of thing. A relative of mine would sometimes make a super delicious banana cake when she had guests. Man, I wish that Sam liked banana. Is fried rice a good way to start enjoying eating veggies? Yo, the tip that I always give is if you like pasta, blend up some vegetables and like really blend them up like into a paste and add them to your pasta sauce. The tomatoes typically in pasta sauce are strong enough that they will overpower some of the vegetables. But if you put like some sweet bell peppers and stuff in there, they just add like a little something something, and you get a bunch of extra veggies out of it. We do that for us and Clark. It just loads her up on vegetables. What's Clark's favorite dish? Is she picky? She gets a little picky, but I think all kids do. It's whether or not, well, I can't say this with any. I've only had one kid. But from what we were told and our experience with Clarky, typically with kids with their palate, sometimes it takes quite a few times of trying something to actually like it. So like just offering it to them, not forcing them to eat it, but offering it to them and also letting them see you eat it. Because if you're like, try it, it's so good, but you never eat it in front of them, they're going to be like, that's suspicious. That's really suspicious. I'm not eating that. Also, the thing that has helped us a lot is Clark is old enough to help in the kitchen a lot now. And so Clark wants to cook everything with me, which is great. Because when I chop things up, I normally give her like pieces of everything that we've chopped up. She's more interested in eating something she helped make. And she also loves just like nibbling on stuff that we're chopping up. She loves the whole process. So yeah, those are the things that have helped us. Clark talk, nice. Yeah. Well, we're just talking about like food in general. Helping while cooking is just a way to get early dinner. Oh, totally. If she's one of her favorite things currently is, I'm so hungry, even if she's literally been eating all day. Mommy, I'm so hungry. So sometimes I'll be like, okay, let's make dinner. You can help me cook. You can nibble on stuff if you want. Marianne, I was telling chat that she pulled out a couple of new ones today, which were, she got really mad because I wanted to put the puzzles away. And I said, can you explain to me like why you're mad? Can you talk to me? And she said, no, I do not want to talk to you. It's like, okay. And then when we were trying to put her down for her nap, anytime I was like, okay, we've got to put a diaper on, she would freak out and get really upset. And I was like, can you listen to me for a second? And she goes, no, I do not want to listen to you. So we're already a teenager. It happened so quickly. I'm sensing a theme. Full sentences. Oh yeah, Clark is in full on sentence. She does really complex, like long-winded sentences, which are so funny. Sam will say, do you want to go to the supermarket? And she'll go, yes, we will go to the supermarket, and then we will get gingerbread, and then mommy will eat one and daddy will eat one, and we will cover them with sprinkles. We're like, okay, thank you for telling us exactly what you would like out of this situation. Has the whole day planned. Yeah, I would say I keep saying that, like, if this were a video game, she just puts all of her points into communication. She knows what she wants. It's true. Yeah. Sweetheart. I love those I guess I'm the asshole parent things where a kid is screaming because they could shatter a plate. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a lot of that, isn't it? But like sometimes like those situations I get. It's me trying to explain to her there's a mirror in our house, and sometimes she'll pull at the mirror, and I always explain to her, like, please don't do that because the mirror could fall on you. And that's very scary for mommy, and it's very dangerous. So could you please not play with the mirror, right? And if she plays with it again and I react in a way that's like, okay, we're leaving, we're not going to be in the same room as the mirror, she gets so mad. Like I'm just the most unreasonable person that has ever lived. But I get it. In that situation, it's like she wants to play with the mirror and she doesn't fully comprehend what it is that I'm trying to tell her, right? Like the consequences of potentially playing with it and having it fall on her. And from my perspective, it's, I understand that you don't understand. That doesn't mean that I'm going to let you play with it until there's an accident, right? So we're leaving the room. So those miscommunications I get. I'm still going to attempt to explain it to her. But yeah. I just moved out and cooking is an in-progress skill. Any secret skills that you can bestow to me and chat? There's, when I like moved out by myself the first time, there were things that I always tried to keep around. Rice, you can get a ton of rice for super cheap. Rice is just easy. And again, you can just make a bunch of rice and then utilize it for other things, have it as a side for other things throughout the week, right? When cooking, somebody recommended prepping ingredients. Absolutely. Just think of it as two parts, right? It's going to be, I think everybody wants it to be, okay, I'll prep the first things that I need to start cooking with. And then while those things are in the pan, I'll start prepping everything else and I'll do it all at the same time. The stress of cooking and trying to do things when they're supposed to be done is like non-existent when you just prep everything ahead of time. Anything that needs to be chopped up, anything that needs to be like set aside or put out or any of that, get out any pans that you might need, like just get all of that stuff ready before you ever start cooking, and it helps so much. Prepping ingredients takes so long. Just put on a podcast, just chill. You don't have to like the sounds of sizzling onions and shit, like desperately waiting for that garlic and ginger that you thought would only take a minute but is actually taking you so long because ginger's a pain in the ass. Like you just don't, you're not, that extra stress is not there, right? Just put on a podcast, chop everything up at the same time. Next time that you get takeaway and it comes in those little plastic bins, keep them. That's what I do. Anytime we have takeaway and plastic, like something comes in a plastic bin, I just keep it. And those are my like prep things. So I put out like 4 or 5 of those. Maybe I don't need them all, but I put out like 4 or 5 of those and I just put on something to listen to. Or Clarky tells me a story while she's like chomping on a carrot. And you just smash through it and it's fine. And then the actual cooking process, you're not sitting there being like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Like it says that I need to put in the sweet potatoes, but I don't remember where I put them. Like just prep it. It helps. Yeah, don't compare yourself to like actual chefs that are like, I suppose I need to chop this thing. Like that's not us, right? We're not that person. Some of you out there are, but that's not, you know who I'm talking to. Us, the everyman. That's not our skill set. Yeah, if you can start doing that as well, that also is amazing. As like pots are not being used anymore, once you're done with your knife, if you don't need to chop anything else up, like use that time when you have put something in the pan to just rinse that stuff super fast and either clean it properly or at least rinse it out so that when like the washing up process needs to start, it's just easy peasy. Comparing yourself to a pro chef and simultaneously being like, man, I hope this toast doesn't come out al dente. Oh shit. Yeah. Amazing. Al dente is a term that is used with pasta. So some people prefer that their pasta is like has just like a little bit less give. Some people want pasta that you just like chomp through easy peasy, but al dente means firm to the tooth, and some people want their pasta a little more al dente. So to say, man, I hope this toast isn't al dente is just funny. I start prepping ingredients for breakfast at 4:30. I sit there for an hour doing nothing because I started too early. Dude, my mom, my entire life growing up and still to this day, when it hits like when I'm at her house, we'll eat dinner around like 6:37, right? When it hits maybe 4, when it hits like 4 o'clock, my mom's like, I think I'll start prepping for dinner. And she'll chop everything up at like 4 o'clock. It's so cute. And I'm like, Mommy, we're not eating for so long. She'll be like, do you want to set the table at 4? Sure. Sure, I would love to. It's very cute. It's very cute. It's like the extreme version of like, I just want this all done so I don't have to worry about it. It's like, I'm going to get it done hours ahead of time. Exactly. Yeah. It puts her at ease to know like I can now just rest and know that the only part of the process I have to be concerned about is the actual cooking. And I know how long everything takes because all of the things that I've made a million times, you know. It's very cute. We used to have a proper, because remember, I grew up on a farm. We used to have a proper, like, bell. Like, it's dinner time bell. It stopped being as useful because my dad wasn't able to, like, be out in the field doing stuff, really. But it's very cute. So now we have a tiny one. now there's a tiny one in the kitchen. And so if everybody's already in the house, you can just, like, ding, ding, ding. It's very cute. I bought one of those to annoy my brother, and he hates it. Oh. I knew a super strict family that had a gong. A gong? That's so intense. Chat, please help me with the motivation to work out. I have 50,000 reasons to, but I don't wanna. Sometimes when there's something that I really don't want to do, but I know I'll feel better even if I just like attempt a little bit of it, I'll just remind myself of that. Like I don't have to do everything that I typically do. Even doing like part of it will make me feel better. And sometimes when I say that to myself, I wind up doing the whole thing. So also, yeah, future me will appreciate it is another thing that I'll do. I do that with dishes a lot. Future me is going to be so jazzed to come downstairs in the morning and have no dishes in here. When I don't want to run on the treadmill, I just tell myself that I could walk, but then that's boring and I run anyway. It's my birthday. How are you? Happy birthday. I'm doing good. Past me is a jerk. Yeah, I guess it's the opposite, right? The future me can deal with that. Instead, this is the self-love version of it that you could try to start using. Instead, you can say, oh my gosh, future me is going to be so jazzed if I just do this now. I think that sometimes about if there's something that I really want to eat, but I know that I'll feel like shit if I eat it. Sometimes I do that as well. Be like, it sounds really good, but you know who's going to feel like awful if I do that? Future me. And I feel really bad for future me if I commit to this. can't believe past me continues to not wash dishes daily. I'm telling you, the game changer for me was just finding a couple of podcasts and like of different types, right? Different types, different vibes. So depending on what kind of a thing I wanted to listen to, I could like adjust as necessary. But just doing dishes while listening to a podcast or an audiobook has helped me so much. MangaPod you can find on pretty much every podcast app, yeah. So you can listen to the audio-only version of MangaPod if you wanted to. I don't know where to find good and different podcasts. If there's a podcast that you like, sometimes I have some luck, because, you know, there are people that are like podcast enthusiasts. Sometimes I have some luck being like, I want podcasts that are similar to this, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Alex Fasciani is starting a new podcast that's all about the new 52 comics. And he was like, do you want to be on the dark deck and do all of the like weird supernatural spoopy shit? And I was like, yes. That's amazing that you thought of me for that. 100%. I'm very excited. So I have a couple. I think he sent me like my first homework for it. Let me see. Which are my first ones? Animal Man, Swamp Thing, Frankenstein, Agent of Shade. Those are mine. My first ones to do. So, volume 1 of all of those. I'm very excited. Dungeons and Daddies? What is that? My fucking keyboard. It's weird because it'll work, like, it just won't type into specific things. Like, it's typing fine in Twitch chat, but if I go to a new tab, at first it'll be like, I don't know what that is. Comedic Dungeons and Dragons podcast about 4 suburban dads from our world flung into a land of magic and fantasy in a quest to rescue their lost sons. Oh, it's like a story one. Basically, we play D&D loosely and let the chaos of dice rolls guide an improvised story. It is not a BDSM podcast. Amazing. That sounds great. I'm gonna put it on my app now. Let's see. Dungeons and Daddies. There it is. Subscribe. Done. Sick. Oh, where is... Illustrators. Why isn't that on here anymore? What happened there? There it is. How weird. Oh, you know what? I don't think I have listened to Illustrators on this new app. That's probably why. That's probably why. Yeah, we got Chilluminati, Star Wars New Canon Book Club, if I want to listen to my friendos and I'm missing them. My Brother and Me is always solid. Radiolab is always solid. Great Big Story. Trash Taste. You don't gotta listen to any of those. You can listen to whatever makes you happy. I know it's pretty famous, but have you watched or listened to Critical Role? I have not. I've put it off for so long that it feels inaccessible to me now. Oh, it's a podcast. Oh my gosh, you needed to put some context in there. I was like, wow, that's very aggressive. It's Reading Rainbow for adults. I don't even know what that means. Oh, it's a bunch of my anime buds. Oh. I knew they did a podcast. I didn't know what it was called, though. Sure. Subscribe to that. Why not? Support the boys. Oh my god, one of my eyes is like absolutely killing me. We're gonna go on BRB. I'm gonna try taking one headache pill and see if it kills it. This is not the right state of brain to be in for a puzzle game. So we'll come back and chitty chat a little bit more and see whether or not it goes away. If it does, amazing. And if not, then we'll probably just chat for a while longer and then maybe make it a short podcast. Welcome to my podcast. Dooger McDoogs and friends. Okay, I'll be right back.
hey, hey, hey. Hey, made it. Hey, made it. Est-ce que ça le fait? Si tu veux faire une vraie affaire, prends pas celui qui fait pomper, prends celui qui fait gagner. Crois-moi quand je dis que je suis l'origine, tout ce que Zouk n'est pas, Snaz qui fait coller ses faces. Donc, si tu aimes son flow, mets la barre plus haut. Dicky West, numéro 1, les approches du zéro.
Et West, c'est bien que Zouk est ton reflet. T'es son frère d'une autre mère, c'est vrai. Toi t'es pas fake, une vraie affaire tu dis. Y'a tout ce monde qui te suit, ce pouvoir qui grandit. Tu fais flipper Vinyl City, cette force est vitale. Ton rôle capital, hey, profite de l'occasion pour marquer les annales.
Ouais, j'ai marqué des esprits, c'est vrai. Mais je suis pas sûr
Yo, what
qu'il
up?
respecte vraiment ce que je fais. Je crois qu'il attend ma chute pour me clasher, me tailler.
DK West Encounter 3 in French. En français. You don't like the music? I don't like this. Damn, yikes. Oh, it's raining. It's pouring. The old man is snoring. Parlez-vous français? Un peu. Je parle un peu. Okay. The only thing that was in the house is this super duper powerful shit. So I was like, Sam, I'm going to take one of these. Is it going to make me weird? And he was like, no, it's not going to make you weird. You're fine. There's like some of the over-the-counter medication here has like big labels on it that are like, this can be addictive. Please only take like such and such amount. Like, please follow the directions. Do not take for more than 3 days straight. Like that kind of a thing. But like all of the normal headache medicine was just gone. And I was like, I don't know what to take. And he was like, just take this. I was like, there are a lot of warnings on this that make me nervous. But on the back, it's like for bad headaches, for, you know, pain, etc. So I was like, I guess one is fine. But we'll see. Sam said one should knock it out. And if it doesn't, then it'll be a short stream. I appreciate it. I think all medication, if it's potentially addictive, should have some kind of a label on it. Yeah, it's cocodamol. Because Sam gets these migraines that just like last a week and knock him on his ass. So we have it in the house for when it's like really bad. But I was like, I think it's overkill for this headache. And Sam was like, does it hurt bad enough that you don't think you can stream very well? I was like, yeah. He's like, then just take one. It's not going to be a problem. It's not like you're going to take a million of them. Just take one. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't work, then don't take another one, you know? Yeah, they're like, well, you guys know, there's lots of addiction problems in my family, so I'm always like really nervous about it, but you know, it's an over-the-counter drug, and I'm taking one. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Oh, Arthur, I'm sorry. I'm glad that you're here. Hopefully we can cheer you up. Hello, my darling. Food. Thank you. What is this?
Hash browns.
Hash browns. Sorry, that was very loud. Subway does hash browns? Question mark. They're like little round hash browns from Subway. Oh no. Don't fall in. No! Ripperoni. Oh yeah, I've eaten from Greg's many a time. Sam is a big Greg's fan. Shit. No. No. This was a mistake. It's dying in there. There's no other options. That one's dead in the water. No, because now there's too much ketchup on it. There's too much ketchup. Maybe not today. What's in here? A veggie sandwich. My love. My love. He knows. There's no such thing as too much ketchup. There definitely is for me. I'm not a sauce person. I don't like sauce on my burgers. I don't like sauce on my hash browns, I guess. I just want just a smidge. I'm the exact opposite, so is Sam. Sam is like I'm gonna take all this food, mix it all up together, and then drown it in ketchup. Like, he's that guy.
Coffee drinking burrito babe.
Yes. And then a loaded veggie sandwich. Delightful. Smidge is an underused word. When we were watching Enola Holmes, we were like, God, we should bring nincompoop back. She used that word like 3 times in the movie. We were like, nincompoop, that's so good. No, I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm not supposed to have cheese. It's literally just vegetables on there. Enola, I loved. All 3 of us really, really liked it. It was a very fun movie. I actually didn't expect to like it as much as I did. But I thought it was great. It was very fun. I hope they make more. It was very fun, yeah. Yeah, she's like the characters from a book series. I don't know if the books are good. I have no idea, but I'm still trying to what am I trying to say? I'm still trying to make it through Artemis Fowl. I keep falling asleep while reading Artemis Fowl. Those books are so short. I was like, oh my God, I'm just cranking through this. But when you only read a couple of pages at a time and then fall asleep, it's slow going. I have so much to read and I just don't do it. Yeah, like the time to read for me is before bed, but that's become when I draw. So it's hard to do both, you know. I didn't know there were so many Artemis books. I read just 3 as a kid. I'm the same. I got the full like set. I got all of them because it was cheap to just get all of them. They're older books now. And I was like, what the fuck? I only read, I think, yeah, like 3 of them. And there's so many. Mm. What do they call those kinds of sandwiches in the UK? I don't know, but the place is still called Subway, so I don't know. I would have to ask Sam. Honestly, don't know. Are you still doing Cringetober? Mm-hmm. I used one of my free days. So I'm technically on glomping. And I didn't know what to do with glomping, so I just started a picture of Zach last night instead of doing glomping because I literally couldn't figure out what to do for it. Glomping is a hard prompt. I know, dude. It is. It's rough. Mm-hmm. Glomping is like an old internet term for jumping on somebody else's back. It's very weird. Well, they weren't amazing, but I ate them all because I'm a potato fiend, so. Mm. Pokefan for me, like, the process to, like, drawing every day that I'm at now started in kind of like an unconventional way because my kid started to get really into drawing. And by that, I mean she draws circles. She draws circles on everything, and that's mostly what she can figure out so far, which is great. But she started asking me to draw specific things. And I realized at a certain point, like, holy shit, I've been drawing every day for a while because Clark just wants me to draw all the time. And so then from there, I was like, it would be cool if I could, like, keep this rolling, but start doing some drawing for myself. And so I spent a little bit of time, like, just drawing for myself and not posting it anywhere and not really talking about it. And then I started a drawing that I wanted, like, really badly to finish. And so I posted, like, the original sketch of it and just talked about how I had been trying to draw every day and had started this drawing. And I actually finished it. And it was the first time I had finished, like, a big drawing in years. Like, years and years and years. And so I've been continuing to draw every day and occasionally posting about it because some people were saying that it was, like, really cool to see, like, progression. I've noticed that one of for me, my, like, big weakness currently is in things that I have to draw quickly. So this whole, like, Cringetober thing, right? I haven't liked anything that I've drawn for Cringetober. Everything that I'm drawing right now, I'm getting used to having, like, multiple days to draw something and get it to a point where I'm happy with it. Or, like, with Fabia, like, I've been working on this Fabia drawing forever, you know? And so, yeah, the daily stuff I think is really good for me if I actually do them. The daily stuff is good for me because it forces me to just, like, even just sketch something and then be like, and I'm done with that, you know? Or consider them like a warm-up before I work on my other stuff. So I think if I think about them that way, it'll be good for me because I'm not good at, like, quick gesture stuff or anything like that. That's all stuff that I could be practicing with these. So yeah. But it's very fun, and I like seeing myself improve. And again, like I always wind up saying, I'm aware that apparently the up and down of an artist is that you draw, you see yourself improving, and you're like, awesome. And then your eyes start training in a way that's really good. Say with, like, anatomy, right? You get to the point where you can start looking at things and being like, ooh, the anatomy's kind of busted on that, right? Oh, that's not where that shoulder should be, et cetera, et cetera. And your skill in replicating what your brain is saying is correct is not there yet, right? So say that I'm drawing this picture of Zach, and I'm like, I want him sitting cross-legged on the floor looking at a bunch of papers looking miserable, which is literally what I'm drawing currently. Say that I'm drawing that, right? And currently I'm looking at it and going, this looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. And then my brain adjusts and catches up and learns what to look for. And I look at that drawing again and I think to myself, fuck, right? Like, his body's super busted in this picture, but I don't know how to fix it yet. So I'm going to spend some time, like, trying to fix it, right? And maybe getting frustrated, and then maybe getting into a point where I'm like, my art's terrible. Right? Which is normal, apparently. That's, like, very normal, is that your brain starts to recognize what's wrong with your art before your skills catch up to fix things. But it's necessary for you to be able to see what's wrong in order to improve. Right? So I'm waiting for the point where I'm just like, I'm awful. Oh my God, these are terrible. And I've kind of been going through it with the sketches, with the daily drawings. Because I only have a short amount of time to work on it, and I can't just like bench it and be like, oh, I'll finish it later. I mean, I could, but that defeats the purpose. So, yeah, I'm just trying to think of everything as like a learning experience, I guess. When I was little, I drew a lot of Dragon Ball fan art and characters. I looked at some of them, and honestly, I drew better at age 10 than 24. I did a picture. I don't even know how old I was. I did a really cool picture when I was super into Magic Knight's Ray Earth. I just started watching Magic Knight's Ray Earth. I think I was like preteen. And I drew a picture of like one of the fire sprites from that. So it was like a little sprite character with like fire all around it. And I had, from looking at the way that they drew fire in the show, I like tried to replicate it in this picture. And I saw that picture not that long ago, and I was like, holy shit, this is actually like a pretty good picture. Like, I was very impressed with young me. But I had like put in the work, you know, young me like cared enough to be like, how do they do fire in this show? I'm going to figure out how to draw the fire. You know, like, it's not like I just like could intrinsically do it. I like cared enough to make it happen, which I think is like kind of what's happening with me now, right? Is I have all of these like D&D shows and things with characters that I'm starting to get really attached to, and it's just creating a situation where I care enough to try and draw them well, and that's forcing me to do things like looking up hand references at 3 a.m. and stuff. I'm like willing to put in the work because I really want to be able to draw the things that I'm imagining. And if you're in a place where you just don't want to do that, it's hard to make yourself draw, isn't it? Oh, can you hear it? Can you hear the people singing the songs of angry men? I love it. The Wolverine musical. Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's the one. Oh, I forgot about that song. Drip, drip, drop, little April showers. Something, 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 something. I don't know the rest of that song. That's from Bambi, right? Oh my gosh. The most depressing movie. I loved that movie when I was a kid. And looking back, I'm like, how fucking depressing. I do like Broadway musicals. I haven't seen a show in a very long time. Sam said he would go with me. But it's another one of those, like, yes, he'll hang out in the kitchen and help me cook a thing, but he doesn't actually enjoy the cooking process. It's like, yeah, of course he'll go see a show with me, but he doesn't, on his own, he would never suggest that, you know? It's hard to find other people that like musicals. Yeah. I was about to say, I know so many people that like musicals, but I was a fucking theater student. So all of the people that I'm thinking of are like people that I went to school with. My mom loves musical theater. My mom and I would like get tickets to operas and shit. That was always so fun. That was the first time that I like really committed to trying to read subtitles. Because my high school drama teacher had a connection at whatever theater it is in Portland that does a lot of their opera stuff, where they would let us, for like a way cheaper ticket price, go in to see the final dress rehearsal of an opera that was going to be coming out. And so my mom and I would do that all the time, and it was so fun. There was one time that they did nearly every time we went, it was basically just like seeing the show normally. But there was one time that they did a musical number, and then suddenly the lights came up and the director stood up like right in the front row and was like, do that again. We got to watch like this big musical piece like happen twice in a row. Me with museums. No one around me likes museums. I'll be honest, I've never been super into museums, but I have a lot of friends who are really into art museums. But for me, that's the thing that I never really like think to go to. Amy Winehouse got pulled out of the musical I was in for heckling? What? I'm a historian, so they're part of my job description. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I wish I knew Dodger was doing SMD on Tuesdays. I've had like a really bad headache all day, so I kind of just decided I was gonna hang out and chat until the headache went away, and it still hasn't. So what time is it? 3:20. Okay. Look, if we get to 4 o'clock and I still have a headache, I'm probably gonna call it and then maybe do another stream tonight. Well, wait, it's Tuesday. I'm doing another stream tonight anyway. We have Final Fantasy 14 tonight, so yeah, I'll be back at 8 o'clock anyway. Yeah, I figure, like, I'll keep eating my sandwich. We can talk about, whatever the fuck. And yeah, like 30 minutes from now, we'll assess. Bye, Jerry. Oh my god, my nose itches so bad. Stop. Wicked was my first musical. I'm trying to think what my first musical was. I'm actually not sure. I'm trying to even remember which ones I've seen. My first musical was Spice Girls the Musical, and even though I'm a huge fan, I left at halftime. Oh no. Yeah, I saw oh my god, I keep wanting to say the Witcher. Wicked. I saw the Witcher musical, aka Wicked. I saw Wicked. I saw Chicago. Beauty and the Beast on Ice. I know. I mean, there's all the ones that we've done, like Wizard of Oz. Mystery of Edwin Drood is my favorite musical. I have never seen Hamilton, no. What's the Sesame Street spoof? Avenue Q. I saw Avenue Q. Seen Mamma Mia. Oh, Fiddler. I've never seen Fiddler, like, in person, but I love the Fiddler on the Roof movie. I've seen it so many times. Oh, I saw Cirque. Was it Low? I think that's what it was called. I saw Cirque with John and Jenna. That's the one that I saw with them. That was awesome. I was taken to Cats as a kid, and I've never fully recovered. I had never seen Cats. And then I watched, again, with Jeannie and Kristen. We all watched the Cats movie together. And I was confused the whole time. The whole time. The new one. The new one. Fievel Goes West. I'm pretty sure that's not a Broadway musical, but Fievel Goes West is great. There's a tape somewhere of me singing the like main song from American Tail when I was little, when I was really, really little. My dad, because my dad was a musician, he had like a whole recording set up, and I knew the song, and he was like, do you want to record yourself singing it? And I was like, okay. And so there's a tape somewhere of me as like a 6 or 7-year-old singing that song. A tape somewhere out there. Yeah. Somewhere out there. In Five Goes West, the goof that they do at the start of Five Goes West with that song is always a classic. Oh, I have CDs of my youth symphony at my parents' house that I would love to listen to 20 years later. Yeah. No, at the beginning of Five Goes West, the sister is singing the song while, like, hanging out the window. And it's very sweet. And then she gets to the part that's like, and loving me tonight. And she goes, and loving me. And then somebody throws a tomato. And she's like, and loving me. And it's revealed that she's just, like, got the window open singing her heart out, and everyone around in all of the other, like, little mouse apartments is like, shut up, we're trying to sleep. It was good. It was a really good goof because that song was so emotional in the first one. No. Yes. There's a video somewhere as well of me playing the Wicked Witch in Snow White. That was my first play that I was ever in. How old was I? I can't remember. But I was so upset that I was cast as the witch. And my mom was like, honey, the witch is the best character. It was like, they wouldn't have given the witch to just anybody. All right. The witch is the best character. You get to put so much personality into this role. It's going to be so fun. You'll see. And I just, like, went really hard on it. And the video is so funny. It's just tiny me like, I wonder if we could find that. Oh my God. My mom must have that somewhere. I think that was was it that one or was it? It's that one for sure. So the part in Snow White where, like, the Wicked Witch is in disguise and comes to the house of the dwarves and is like, would you like an apple, my sweet? Right? So I came inside of the house on this set, right? And went, would you like an apple? And before I could even get it out, the entire set fell over. And the girl who's playing Snow White and I just, like, burst into giggles, like, laughing so hard. And there was a lady who was on the microphone who was, like, the narrator voice and had been like, and then Snow White let the Wicked Witch into the house. And then the set just fell. And she goes, and then there was a huge explosion. And the only reason I remember this is because we watched that so many times on the VHS because it was so funny. Like, she was so chill about it. It was pretty great. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot that those were recorded. I would love to see those again. I should text my mom and see if... God, my nose is driving me crazy. I'll be right back. One sec. Oh my god. Hot. Super hot. Have I been watching Bake Off? Is there a current Bake Off, like right now? If so, no, I have not been. Started 2 weeks ago. Gotcha. No. Is it on BBC iPlayer? Because that's the only way I would be able to watch it, I think. No, because it's not on BBC, right? It's a Channel 4 show. I don't know how to watch it if I don't have cable. For OD. 4 is free online. Great. I wasn't in Playboy, to be fair. I did a non-nude on their website. That must count. Yeah. There was pizza involved, that's true. Look, I made a demand and they said sure. They literally were like, would you ever consider doing a thing with Playboy? We realized that this is not very on brand for you and is a really long shot. And I was like, well, can I just like eat pizza and wear plaid for the whole thing? And they were like, sure. And that was that. And that's how that went down. So what made me feel good is that, because I was pretty upfront that I was going to do it. And I know a lot of people in my community were like, I don't like this. Like, this feels so weird. I don't like any of this. And by the time the pictures came out, I think for the most part, everyone realized that they weren't. It still felt like it was me, you know, in the pictures, like, it still had, like, my vibe. It was just me occasionally in underwear, but still, like, just kind of chilling and eating pizza and hanging out on the couch. And, like, those were the pictures, you know. So I think for a lot of people who were concerned that it was going to be, like, weird, it didn't wind up being as weird. They did provide the pizza and all of the clothing. They did my hair and makeup. Literally the only things that I had to do were let them in my house. And then also, to their credit, they reached out asking how much like shopping, like photoshopping of the photos I was okay with. And I said that I didn't want them to really, like, change my shape very much. I asked if they would keep, like, my actual body shape the way that it is. And they were like, sure. They were, like, super chill about everything. So, shout out to them. They were pretty aight. At least the people that I got to work with were pretty aight. You should have asked for anime eyes. Like, I have one request. Make my eyes fucking huge. I was thinking like Shattering Gun. No, I was imagining like, you know, when people Photoshop their eyes to just be big. Can you just make my eyes bigger? That's true. Sam was an actual model. I got to pretend I was a model for an afternoon. But did Sam get to model with pizza? I think we know who the real winner is. I don't think he ever got to do a shoot with pizza. So yeah, I win. Yeah, he's an actual model. You can look up Sam Thorne model and find his pictures. He's a cutie pie. He's a cutie pie. Under all that hair. Under all that hair is a chiseled jaw. I don't want that in my search history. Sam Thorne model. I think at some point Sam will want to shave it, yeah. But he's enjoying the beard right now. And he had never had a beard before we got together. And then he decided to try it out. And I think he's beautiful with and without it, so. Clark is gonna have a heart attack when she sees him without a beard. She's seen plenty of photos of Sam without a beard and recognizes it as Daddy, which is very cute. He looks like a completely different person to me. I think it's probably because, like, we have photos around the house of he and I together when his facial hair was super short and stuff. And she knows that those are photos of, like, mommy and daddy, right? So I think, like, she's just been around pictures of Sam without the beard. So if he shaved, I don't think that she would be... I think she would be surprised, but I don't think that she would be confused about, like, who he is, you know? Oh, my boss shaved his beard when his little girl was 4 and she cried when she saw him. Oh. I'm trying to remember how old I was when my dad first shaved. I remember coming downstairs and seeing him with no facial hair and being like... It was very surprising, but I was not super young. Oh, this is a good look. Hello and welcome to my library, etc. If he shaves when she's in the room, she would probably think it's funny. That's also true. I mean, I think what they say is like a good option is just to like slowly shave it back, right? To go like shorter and shorter and shorter over a period of like a week or 2 weeks. I look like Zachy. Thank you. Now I just have to cut my hair. And I can do that. I can do that Zach cosplay that I know you're all hankering for. Oh my god. I was watching the second episode of Tearing Veil, and they had leveled. And so one of the characters, I'll try to keep this vague for anybody who hasn't watched it yet. One of the characters is a warlock. And so he got to choose an invocation. And Arcadum said the same thing to him that he said to me, which was like, my world is filled with lore. So I always recommend that warlocks get Eyes of the Runekeeper so that they can read literally anything that they find. And somebody referred to them as special eyes, and chat just erupted into Zacky Wackies, and it made me laugh. Because Zach, for any of you who don't watch Strange Roads, my thing with Zach was anytime I had an invocation, which is basically like a passive ability that you could add to yourself as a warlock, every single thing I took was an eyeball something. So it just made my eyes like super powerful. So yeah, so it warmed my heart to see chat just like burst into Zacky Wackies. If somebody ever tries to like dig my purple eyeball out, though, I'm really screwed. I spent all my invocations on making the pew pew laser better. It's fair. Yes, all of Arcadum stuff is in the same world, and it's all happening parallel. So games that are currently happening that he's running are all happening at the same time and can affect each other. Doesn't he wear glasses? Yeah, the second that, they want to update Dungeons and Dragons with a 5e invocation that's you are no longer farsighted, he'll get right on that. Have you spoken to Arcadum about making a cameo in any of the other games? I've said that if Zachy could like pop into another game, like if it made sense for him to be somewhere and like be involved in one of the other campaigns, that I would love to play him. Which group is the most evil and why is it Broken Bonds? It's definitely Tearing Veil. This last episode like solidified it for me. One of the characters specifically in Tearing Veil is a type of evil that hits differently than just, I'm going to kill this guy for no reason. Tearing Veil is 100% the campaign with the most evil player characters. Oh, I should update. Hold on. By design or by accident. They are meant to be an evil team from the get-go. That's like their whole thing. They are an evil group that serves a Lokenhai. And that's like, that was the pitch for their game. The way that they interpret being evil is different depending on the person, but where is Strange Wodes? The Strange Wodes command. There it is. Okay. Let me update this. That is, oh my God. What is going on here? What? That is on hiatus. Save before it gets too out of hand. Okay. And then D&D. Show that is currently on hiatus. Save. Great. My keyboard is freaking out. And somebody said it's probably from the coffee I spilled on it like over a month ago. So whoops. Fortunately, we have an extra keyboard in the house. I might have to steal that. We'll see. No, I have not updated Zach's World Anvil page. Nope. It's rebelling. It's so weird. It's like I'll go to type something and it won't type anything. It's not like specific keys aren't working. It's like none of the keys will work for a hot minute and then suddenly they'll all work fine. Is Dukes playing in an evil D&D campaign? God, I wish. I would love to play in a game where I got to be an evil character. Like an evil character on purpose, you know? I don't think so. The campaign that I was just talking about is called Tearing Veil, and there's only 2 episodes of it so far. It's a newer Arcadum game with Soda Poppin' and Vigor and I think Surefour and Moon, and it's great. Yeah, it's very fun. It's a totally different vibe than any of the other games. Again, because it's literally like, you're all evil. Go. Oh, Nimona's lovely. Nimona's a great comic. Devin. That's what I missed. Well, yeah. I mean, there's a reason that most people will argue that playing an evil character is almost impossible for a normal person, right? That we just have too many mental barriers to like behaving in a way that is not just like, I kill a guy, yuck, 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 you know, in a way that's like purposefully cruel. The average person can't do that very well. I ran a game once and told the group one member of the party was evil and that I would pick them at random. I told each player that it was them, so it was a bunch of evil dudes pretending to be good. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm very susceptible to It's really hard for me to purposefully do like the cruel thing in any situation, in any game, when it like doesn't even matter. It's like just really difficult for me to do it. I've accepted that about myself. So it would be fun to like go into a situation being like, this is what my character is, and try to stick to that and see how I would do it. I want to play a good aligned necromancer. I haven't figured that out yet. Zach, I think, is lawful neutral. Fabia's definitely chaotic something. An A-list, I don't know. A good aligned necromancer is just a doctor who's bad at his job. Amazing. Oh. I once RP'd a good character who had necromantic magic, and she used it to restore flesh by reversing decay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's kind of along the lines that I was thinking, right? Is like, if you're sticking with the whole, like, I'm going to summon people back and they're going to, like, fight for me or work for me or whatever, is if you like, went at it from the perspective of, like, I'm going to have a chat with this person and see, like, what's going on with them. And if they want to come back and, like, you know, that kind of stuff. Oh, bringing people back to fulfill their last wishes. That's sweet. Oh, yeah. I think in every game, probably, there's at least, like, a moment where somebody takes a situation personally. I talked about that before with, like, with the Strange Roads game, right? What was nice is that Jesse and I know each other well enough that we can bitch at each other in character and neither of us are going to take it personally. I wouldn't feel as comfortable doing that with somebody that I just met, you know? TB would bitch at you once in a while? Yeah, of course he would. We were friends. I would bitch at him too. You and Jesse went hard at each other in Strange Roads? Yeah. And, like, that's the sort of situation where, like, if you don't know the person very well, you might not be able to read if they're, like, actually upset, right? Because when you've played a character for a decent amount of time in one of these games, one of the problems, you can consider it a problem or not, but, like, in that sort of situation, one of the problems is that you get really attached to them, and sometimes things that happen to them or like the way that other player characters treat them, you take it super personally. and being able to like recognize that in the other person, like I should pull back a little bit, right? Like I should take a foot off the gas right now, is good to be able to recognize in the other person. I'm trying to remember what Octo played in our offline game. The original Scrumpo was a fortune teller. And I don't remember what his actual class was, but he like fully committed to the bit that like he could see the future, and it was really funny. And I don't remember what his class was. Divination wizard? Oh, maybe. That sounds like a thing that would apply. I had my half fighter, half wizard killed off, and I legit sulked for the rest of the session. How can you not, right? When you like really care about the character, it's good to care about the character. It makes it more fun and more exciting. But yeah, when they die, you get upset, right? It's normal. It's very normal. I've had a few characters die, and I was really salty about one of them. Really salty. What can you do? It happens. Hi-Rez said, have you ever had a character that when they died, you were like, yeah, that's probably for the best? I had a character that like, my very first character, Tack, my DM took pity on me and like created situations for the party to be able to bring Tack back like 3 times. And we got into a fight with like this big spider monster thing. I was a rogue. And like the second it showed up, I was like, I dive in and attack it. And I think that was like the last straw for everybody. Of like, you know what? This time you're dead for real. This is it. I just like didn't know how to play a rogue properly at all. And I refused to figure out how to play them properly. And they just kept bringing me back. And I got like, I had this weird like fake plot armor in my mind. And eventually all of us were like, you know what? No, maybe Tack should die for real. What are you drinking? Wowder. It's almost gone though. Yeah, well, Fabia, so in Godforged, I want to say like my second or third session with Fabia, I was like, this is amazing. I have such high stealth that I can literally attack and then bonus action hide and nail the stealth roll pretty much every time and just be invisible and then have advantage and get sneak attack the next time I attack and just do that over and over and over again, right? I'm just going to stay right here and just attack with sneak attack and then hide and attack and hide and attack and hide. And I got hit by an AoE attack and was knocked unconscious. And I had hid so well that no one knew I was there. And I was like, I did not expect this to bite me in the ass. Oh my God. So our cleric was like, where did Fabia go? They had no idea. They didn't know where I was. It was pretty funny. And I think I had failed one death saving throw at that point. So if I rolled a 1, I don't know if Joe plays by those rules, but if I had rolled a 1 on my next death save, I would have just been dead for real. And everybody was like, we know where she is, like, as players, but we don't know where she is as characters. Like, we don't know what to do. Yes, Fabia is going to be in season 2. Fabia is going to be in season 2 of Godforged. I'm very excited. Godforged is fun. Fabia is like a very fun character to play. Chaotic good. She's probably chaotic good. I don't know. I'm not sure. I've never run where once a character goes down, stealth is still active. I specifically said that I was hiding behind something. So I was hiding, and AoE happened while I was hiding, and I was knocked unconscious. There would be no way for anybody to have seen me. How is your head now? It's okay. There's still like, it definitely, the pill definitely helped, but it's still not gone. So I'll probably just call it and then be back for super cousin time. Do you stay invisible if you're knocked out? No, the idea is that you're hiding behind something and you're hiding so well that nobody knows you're there, right? So just like thinking through it logistically, no one's anywhere near me. They're on the other side of the room because I'm attacking with a bow. There's a huge AoE attack. I'm knocked out. I'm behind a bunch of shit. It would make no sense for them to suddenly know where I am. Right? So that was the situation. We were on games and demos the entire stream. What? Oh, I thought I set myself to just chatting. My bad. Well, hey. You all hung out anyway. Thanks, guys. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up. I've had a headache all day since last night. Not ideal. So, I figured I'm streaming again later. So I'll just rest my head since nothing seems to be helping really. But hey, we got to just hang out and talk, so that's fun. Is that my kid? Sounded like my kid coming up the steps. Elderly Sign says, hi, it's me, a mysterious void entity 632 existing on the internet and pretending to be a real meat person. I'm baking 4 brownie-based cheesecakes, and I thought I can't physically share any of them with you. Oh, though I can't physically share any of them with you, know that I spiritually share both my desserts and my love with everyone here. You're all great, and you all deserve a meat hug. Until then, here's a virtual hug from a real person, not actors. Take care of your weak human bodies, mental and physical health go. T. Drake says, I hope you have fun with Teary tonight. I've tried getting into Final Fantasy XIV so many times. The anxiety keeps kicking me out of it, so I'll just live vicariously through you two. Oh, I'm sorry, T. Drake, but I'm glad you enjoyed the streams. Witch Potato says to Dodger and chat for the motivational help. I did work out, and I can feel myself getting buffer. You're all wonderful, amazing, kind people. I appreciate all of you. Don't forget that you have a place where people care. Hugs to you all. Arthur Pendrake says, heyo everybody, I got updates on my hormones. It's partly good, partly bad. It all made me incredibly angry, but I know for a fact that I'll make it through this, and y'all can make it through anything that is troubling you today. And Dan Berger says, all the love to chat. I hope you all stay safe. Shout outs to Zilla Poopfart, Bet Bread, Dragonfire, and Nick Mohiro for reminding us to drink some water. That's the last of that. We did have a cheers. Nat, I'm going to give your points back. And we have a raid request. Who dis? Shh. There we go. No, that's not the name. That's not what's going on here. There we go. They're playing Hollow Knight. I do love it. I do love that game. Okie dokie. Legacy Star Killer, thank you for the 15 months. Riddle Hacks for the 3. Mr. Rogue Tendo for the biddies. Loyal Schnee for the 1 year. Happy anniversary. Just is in for the 8. Porzio for the 39. Parade of Laughter for the 7. Tiny 2K, thank you again for all of those gifted subs. Stonehead, thank you for the 55. Kelchi for the 42. Parks for the 42. Samson Paul for the 2. Golden Mooster for the 23. Kyra the Squid for the 3. Omnimon for the 61. Vitamin B's for the 46. Magic Maddie for the 3 years. Happy anniversary. Screamer of Stars for the 2. Demon Lemming for the 74. Whimsical Whimsy for the 39. Silent Zeno for the 49. Nickmo Hero for the 26. Stennis Merritt for the 39. Zingatorix for the 77. Hockey Cabbage. Thank you very much for the biddies. Prodigal for the biddies as well. Blim90, thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Varax for the 67. High Res Moose for the 1 year. Happy anniversary. Tomothy, thank you for the 53. Kibber for the 67. JC Dab for the 5. Gecko for the 49. And Adamant Moose for the 19. Thank you all very, very much. Apparently, we are going to be rating Strawberry, who is about to start, it looks like. Wait, what the fuck is happening? So, go say hi. What the fuck is going on with my keyboard? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Get me out of here. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Take care. I'll see you tonight for Super Cousin Time if you can be there. Otherwise, I'll see you when I see ya. Bye-bye.